Hello and welcome to the Cove with Codename Ocean Keeper. So, we've been playing a fair bit of Frostpunk of late, and I figured I would take just a day off just to get a bit of a change of pace for me before we head back to Frostpunk. So, we are back again with Codename Ocean Keeper. So, last time I covered this, it was still quite early on, but now they are in early access. So I thought I'd do a revisit and just kind of keep the video a little bit more current, so people know what the current state of the game is like. So back in the day when I did this a few months ago, I think, I'm not 100% sure, we did not have any of this. We now have a whole mech with a whole bunch of customizations and things. So yeah, at the moment we now have meta progression, which is coming along quite nicely. Lots of different options, weapons, and all sorts of things. But I think we'll cover that mainly at the end of the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive on into gameplay. We're going to be using the machine gun because that seems to be my favorite at the moment. There are others to choose from, but for now, let's go ahead and dive on in. So with the game, I'm currently, well, I've spent a fair bit of time in game, to be perfectly honest. I've quite enjoyed this. Yes, we have a fairly decent build at the moment. So at the moment you'll see that we have a couple of skills that I have found through, what do we call it, that I've unlocked over time, of which have been pretty decent. Actually, no, we'll leave this one here for the drone. We have that little mining bomb, as well as these little drones that zip around and pick up our resources for us. It's rather handy. And as you can see, we have a bit of a time limit before the next couple of bad guys start spawning. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a drill upgrade. Always need those early resources. And you can see what we've now started with. So when you start the game, you don't quite have all of these, but we've got a couple of skills and benefits added to our mech. So there is the standard path for your main diver. Got carry, power, and speed, all of which are fairly self-explanatory. Mech for speed of the mech, health, and repairing. And then we have our weapons, like our machine gun, a fancy laser cannon, a shield, and a missile launcher. And then, of course, we have our diver abilities with the bomb and our little drones. But we will show you what they look like in a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up as many of these as we can. We don't have too long before the first wave is going to get here, so we're just going to quickly scoot on up. Make sure we're here for this early wave. And here we go. So, as you'll see, they've changed the field of view. Do we have enough? No. They changed the field of view slightly from last time, so it makes it a little bit easier to see where the enemies are coming from. We also have unlocked this little marker here that tells us where waves are coming from, which is pretty decent. I quite like it. It makes it a little bit easier to figure out where you need to be focusing your attentions to. Alright, so was that everybody? Oh no, we still have another one. Now we do have a couple of abilities, that being a giant missile launcher. There's also a shield that I have equipped, as well as a laser. We'll call it a... yeah, it's a laser cannon, which very, very quickly makes quick work of what is around. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop another boom down in the depths and see if we can uncover a few more things. That drone, there are upgrades for those, so they can carry more over time. And I think, what do we want to do next? Probably some early upgrades could be nice. You know what? Let's save a little bit of resources for a weapon upgrade. We don't want to get caught out too early on. Alright, so at the moment I think each of these drones can carry 2 resources at the beginning, and they take however long to what do we call it? Yeah, they take 2 resources at a time. They take a little bit of time to respawn, and I think they can do 2 carries a piece. So yeah, but they get some pretty decent upgrades as time goes on, to the point where you don't really need to be ferrying resources back to your mech at any given point. Alright, so either way, let's go ahead and make sure our weapons are upgraded before we start dealing with too much trouble. We get the basic upgrade, just some basic extra shots per reload, damage and rate of fire. That does get progressively greater and greater as time goes on. Very nice when you start getting those very powerful upgrades. Also think for now we should be fairly well set, so we'll pick up another upgrade to... I think we'll upgrade the mining bomb. Just makes it a little bit easier for us to clear out this place a little bit better. Now you'll see in the top left hand corner we have our health. That's been nicely upgraded to a total of 250. We've also picked up a shield which gives us, well, just a little bit of extra breathing room, which, let's be honest, never goes astray. So yeah, we'll quickly hide behind this rock. We'll move to a new mine. Often early on I find that you want a lot of those basic resources, so it's typically worth moving on relatively quickly instead of wasting our time trying to dive into the depths. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what this one has for us. And now we did just mine open a relic, so this gives us a nice, very powerful upgrade. You can find them in multiple mines and you can build up more and more, so it's it can be rather nice. So what have we got here? We have explosive bullets for our machine gun, extra explosion damage and explosion range, and then a new weapon, a napalm bomb launcher. And you know what? I think a second weapon fairly early on is not a bad idea. So we'll go ahead and get that working for us. We'll also try and uncover all of these extra blue resources. Let our drones carry around as much as we possibly can. Alright, and you know what? I think what we'll do is yeah, we'll just quickly drop a few of these back at base, because unfortunately, as good as the drones can be, it still takes a bit of time to find all of the upgrades. So I think one of the first things we're going to do is go for this load capacity. This will increase the maximum ores to deliver up to 4, and it can pick up... Wait, so yeah, it'll take it from 4 to 6, and then maximum ores to pick up will go to 3. That's not too bad, so let's go ahead and get that going. And that'll give us a very good efficiency upgrade. And then after that, I think what we'll do is probably go for reload time, just so we can gain more resources more consistently as we keep on exploring. And you know what? We're getting fairly close to the end of this mining cycle, so I think we're just going to quickly go ahead and clean up what we can and see if we can get any more upgrades before the next bout. Now, one thing you can't do is pick up resources from the drone if the drone is already carrying it, so that is one thing to keep in mind. But things could yeah, it's not too bad to take note of. All right, so let's see, we have 4 of these blues and 9 yellows. What do we want? I'm thinking what we're going to do is could go for an increased power for our bomb, and I think that's going to get us fairly far. That will cost us 8 and 4. The question is, would we rather go for 8 and 3? I think the drill upgrade is probably worth doing, as well as maybe increasing our speed. If we increase our ability to traverse the mines, that might help us out a bit. That, coupled with a little bit of extra power, I think should be fairly good. So let's go ahead and make our way around. Now, we know that we've already visited this mine and this mine, so I'm thinking I head up over there. We'll see if that works out fairly well. As you can see, we have the little napalm launchers, so those will do damage over time as enemies crawl on through. So that's not too bad for us. Gives us a nice little defensive boost as all of the little ocean minions want to try and take us down. Alright, here we go. Let's dive on in. Now, one thing that they also did include as of the last update was a nice little wave indicator, a wave counter. That is particularly nice, I think. Just giving you a little bit extra knowledge as to where you are and what's going on. There are bosses that there are to be defeated every couple of waves, so it is kind of nice knowing just where you are, because if for some reason you pause or you take a little bit of time, it can you can get confused. So it's nice to have that little quality of life improvement. So let's see, what else do we want? We still have 11 and 6. I think the next step up will be for our main machine gun. Not that we've been too far behind as far as our resources are concerned. Sorry, as our damage output is concerned, but it's always something that's worth staying on top of. If you don't have enough DPS, it's very easy to get swarmed, and well, there's not much you can do once that does take place. Rounds can go for a decent amount of time, and then they can disappear very, very quickly if you are not careful. Alright, let's pick up these, and oh, you know what? We have some greens. Some early green resources are always very nice. These are your higher tiered resources, so they will be used for repairing our ship as well as picking up those final upgrades at the end of the tree. Alright, let's just wait for our drone to drop off those last ones and then make it back to the mech. Okay, so here comes the question. What do we want to do? We have enough resources for something for sure. I think, yeah, there we go. We'll go for that power upgrade, and that should be good enough for now. Keep a careful eye on where all of the enemies are coming from. We send off a little rocket. I was hoping we might do a little bit more damage, but I guess that will have to be good enough. And you know what? Let's go ahead and use the little laser beam that we've got. Our laser cannon, very good at dealing with a whole bunch of spam, and it cuts through them quite nicely. It's very good mech upgrade. Also too, we've got those little stingray fellows shooting their little shots at us. Kind of annoying when they're on mass, but for now we're alright. And we had enough shield to be able to soak that up nicely, so that's not too bad. Yeah, that does respawn at the beginning of each wave, so that is rather good to have. Makes it just that little bit easier to sort your way through things. Alright, so we did pick up another relic, so what do we want? Do we want another do we want an artillery weapon, or should we go for a second machine gun? What else do we? I think we're going to go for the auto machine gun. Having a little bit of extra DACA going on is always good to have. Always fun to be able to spam out plenty of rounds downrange. Because again, if you send enough rounds downrange, it's accuracy through volume. And I feel like that's always reasonably effective. Alright, so let's drop these off. And see, we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 coming along, so we will get at least 13 of those blues. Make sure that we have those resources there for our drone to acquire. I think we'll try and dig our way back up over here and sort out this little section, just in case there's any hidden resources. And we've only got a couple of... yeah, we've only got a couple of seconds, so we're just going to have to go with what we've already got. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is maybe go for an upgrade to our bomb here. Being able to blast through those bricks a little bit quicker, certainly a nice thing to have. And then with the extra 4, yeah, we can't go for any of the upgrades to our extra relics that we've picked up, but I think we could do maybe some oh yeah, increase our diver's speed. That sounds rather good to me, so let's go ahead and get that done. And there we go, wave number 5. So wave number 5 is a boss wave, so we have this big what do we call it? I kind of think of him as a not quite a what do we call it, one of those deep sea worms, just gone a little bit too big. So yeah, he has a few interesting skills, being able to shoot and all of that other stuff. Let's go use our shield, decrease what damage he can do to us for a little bit. Yeah, having another weapon upgrade probably wouldn't have been a bad idea, just for being able to get out that extra DPS against him. That would be nice, but we do have extra weapons, so even though we may not have a particularly strong primary, we do have a lot of secondary damage to be able to focus on him. Alright, so you know what? We're going to make our way down a little bit further. Yep, there we go. And we will check out a new mine. Again, all of these blue resources we need to clear out relatively quickly if we're to do quite well. Alright, so let's see. What else can we find? You know what? I reckon what we do is we start increasing the frequency of our drones. So their reload time is how often you can use the ability. I think that would be pretty decent for us to have. So let's go ahead and get that upgraded. I think that should be what's best. Either that or... we could also go for the machine gun and max that out right now. But you know what? I think... well, that is a good question, whether we do either one. But you know what? You know what? We'll go for the weaponry first. We'll see if we can increase our DPS soon. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and drop off a couple of these resources because we're about to get a drone. I'll let the drone deal with all of those shenanigans. But we can always quickly search the area if we must try and pick up a few more things. We'll bring these up a little bit higher and then we'll drop some off just so we maintain our speed. Because again, making the most of what those drones can do. You do get burdened down with how much you can carry. Nothing too surprising if you've played mining games before. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Let's go ahead and drop those off there. We'll pick up these and you know what? We'll see if we can dig our way across to that final resource. Probably unlikely that we need that one specifically, but again, always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay, so let's grab that weapon upgrade. Let's go ahead and max out the power of our machine gun. And let's see how this works. So as you can see, yeah, plenty of rounds firing downrange. Very fun, very nice. Now, there are a couple of extra weapons that you can go for in the customization screen. Kind of depends on what kind of playstyle you want to go for. Depends on what suits, well, what you're after, realistically. So they're all pretty easy to unlock early on, so you can play around with that fairly comfortably. But you know what? Let's go ahead and use our laser beam. Let's just clear out this mess nice and swiftly. Alright, and there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those drones up and running. Try and dig those out there. Clear out this section here. We may want to go for another mining upgrade. A little bit of extra mining strength doesn't seem like it would go astray. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and take these up. That should take us to 12, I'm pretty sure. Is that enough? No, we need 2 more green ones. Okay, so we're going to have to dive deep if we're going to get those. That's fine. We'll try and find our way to the bottom of the mine. Typically, the green ones are found deeper in the mine behind the heavier rock. So, yeah, it is... if you're after something in particular, you can go for it. It just sort of depends what you need. Alright, and you know, we'll pick up those just so they're not going anywhere. And we're going to make sure that we get these delivered so we can drill a little bit better for the remainder of this run. Let's go ahead and get that maxed out. Now, I think that there are some relics that will be able to push you over the maximum. But I haven't had that happen for a little while. As they've introduced more and more options to the game, it has become, well, a lot more varied. So I haven't really come across that as of late. But the last time I checked, it did still exist. Alright, so let's see. What have we got? Wave number 7. So, as you can see, yeah, they bring in more and more interesting enemies as time goes by. We've got these big wormy boys. They're normally quite tanky, but we've maxed out our weapons fairly well, so we're able to chew through a whole stack of trouble right about now. Mind you, I've also got a fair few nice meta progression upgrades, which certainly does help out with this whole situation. It's certainly an interesting grind at the beginning as you try and figure out exactly what you're after and what you are looking for as time goes by. Alright, let's use that laser. You know what? Every now and again, I find myself forgetting that I have certain weapons at my disposal, but either way. Oop, and we've already visited this mine before. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've paid attention to how much of the green goes all the way around. That might actually be an indicator as to how much of the mine has been explored. I've only just unlocked the mine indicator. I chose not to get it straight away. I was curious about some other things first, and so yes, I only just unlocked it at the end of my last run. But here we are, another relic. Let's go ahead and grab an auto shotgun. That's always a good idea. Deal with any trouble nice and swiftly. We'll drop those off. Let's also uncover all of these. We're about to get another drone to do a supply run, so that should be fine. Let's go. Now there are upgrades for the drones with their movement speed and all, which can be pretty good. It certainly is worth the investment at some point, but sometimes I do find it is worth bringing some of the resources closer, especially when that path of your drones has not been upgraded. It just makes things a little bit easier. Alright, we'll get you to pick up those. I think we're going to clear up these ones as well. And hopefully... yeah, I think we've done as good of a job as we can. Oh, you know what? Can we reach that one? There we go. You've got a pretty decent tether too for picking up resources from what I've found, which can be quite nice in those sorts of situations. But either way, let's go ahead and get back into the driver's seat and see what we've got to deal with. Yep. Alright. So far, so good. Oh, taking a little bit of damage. That wasn't quite my plan. Let's just, laser. Clear through the swarms. That automatic shotgun and the napalm launcher, those things automatically track whatever they deem appropriate. So, yeah, it's just this main red one that you get to pick and choose. And of course you can focus its field of fire if you go ahead and hold down the mouse button. Also too, I think this has full controller enabled. So if you do play with a controller for games like these, you can do that, which I assume is pretty good. I'm not really one for using a controller in these sorts of games, but from what I have tested, it did work out fairly well. So I thought I would, let you know about that too. All right, so let's go ahead and, yes, keep on mining. We're doing fairly good. Ooh, yes, more blues. That is going to be crucial. In fact, I think we sort of forgot to focus on some upgrades as of that last wave. Whoopsie daisies. Well, you know what? We may as well go ahead and focus on that now. Let's go ahead and pick up... I don't mind the rotation speed, but I think we've got more important things to focus on. I think we're going to go ahead and... we'll increase the power of our bombs. I think that is very nice to have. Yeah, as you can see here, the goes from damage to damage and range, and then damage and range once again. Yeah, make that as powerful as possible. Let's also get the reload time cut down. That will mean we can use more of them more frequently. And then what else do we want? Oh wait, we never got the drone reload time. I thought we'd pick that up. Well, I guess we shall do that now, just so I do not forget. From what I'm aware, it does cut off that extra time if you already have it on cooldown. It should go ahead and speed that up, which is a rather nice thing. Nothing worse than having to wait quite a while for some upgrades to kick in. And you know what? I think what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly dive down here for a second. We'll try and clear that out. Yeah, and see, I think that's going to have to be as good as it can be. We'll quickly mine up through there just so it's a little bit faster on our ascent. Yeah, normally I don't recommend being away from the mech when the waves hit. but all of those weapons that we picked up from those relics are automatic, so they do lock on to important targets. So it does give you a little bit of breathing room. It's not as cruel as it could be, but at the same time too, it's not something that you should just ignore either. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can clear that out for a second. No, I'm wondering whether we should try and upgrade the shotgun a little bit. I think the next wave may be a boss wave. I think it was every 5th wave. Yeah, and it looks like we cleared out that mine. That was all green. Okay, that icon is actually remarkably nice. So let's make sure we ignore that one. Let's run... Oh, we need a little bit more movement speed. Yeah, we'll make our way down over here. That should do plenty well. Yeah, bit of a pity that we we couldn't be as efficient in this mining run as last time. But, oh well, it is what it is. Such is the nature of this game at times. You can't get everything that you want. Alright, let's go ahead and I think what we'll do is we'll pick up the drones. Let's go for... We want to increase their speed or reload time. I think we're going to go with the reload time. More drones is probably better than having slightly faster ones. I'm sure that there's certainly circumstances where the other would be better, but for now, I think I'm happy with what I've got. Let's keep you from running away. Let's keep all of you in the roughly the same vicinity so our drones are not trying to fly everywhere, or well, swim everywhere, I guess, in this case. Alright, well, let's see, what else can we find? Let's pick this one up just so as we release the next drone, we don't send them in the wrong direction. And you know what, let's go ahead and pop you up over there. Daisies, I was trying to throw that up to the other one, but again, sometimes the need to mine does get a little in the way. So let's just pick up the ones that are closest. We'll send off that drone. In fact, you know, we'll even drop one off so we can maintain a little bit better movement speed. In fact, there we go. We can release another one, and the drone picked it up because it was already under. And it looks like we are dealing with another boss. So we definitely need to get back. We're going to start losing some health very quickly. And yes, it is a giant crab. Yeah, very scary boy. But we're going to go ahead and quickly pick up... Where is it? The shotgun. There we go. That will certainly be useful against a boss such as this. Yeah, big crabby boy. Big crabby boy. And unfortunately, we may have been just a little bit far behind, and that, yeah, it's went to our death. Bother. I thought we were about to kill it. I guess I underestimated exactly what you could do. But as you can see, the bosses, they get progressively different. Well, at least so far from what I have experienced. There are some more to uncover, but I'm not going to ruin that for you. That is part of the joys of being able to play the game for yourself and seeing what is there. So either way, when you die, they'll bring you back here, assuming you have enough meta progression. If not, it'll just take you back to the main screen, which is quite nice. We have our mech, we have our skills that are upgraded. You can purchase a couple of different weapons. You can play with the, you can have these as your abilities on 1, 2, and 3. So missile launchers, laser cannons, carpet missile launchers, shields, mines, turret launchers, rages, and acceleration. Plenty of fun abilities to try. There's also basic upgrades, whether it's for health, speed, shield, and the basic indicators that we showed before, or even the primary weapons. So if you want to run around with the machine gun like we just were, it's not bad. And if you want to play with a rocket or a shotgun, there is those options too. Then of course there is our diver. So he has a couple of skills. We have gone ahead and purchased both of those, both the bomb and the drones, which are quite nice. Showing the fact that there's a third spot there does make me think that they're going to keep on trying to increase the number of items. And then there is just the standard upgrades for your drilling power, speed, and carrying strength, as well as drills. Now, I don't know how we unlock these lasers and punches, but I'm guessing I just have to play more with the game. Who knows? So either way, if you would be interested in all of this, it is actively on a sale on Steam at the moment, just under $10 Australian. It is 20% off at the moment as they have just gone into early access. Should be at that price until the 1st of August. So yes, this is Codename Ocean Keeper. Hopefully you enjoy it, and yeah, if you guys would like to check that out, feel free to. I will leave a link to their Discord and their Steam page in the description below. And yeah, just again, another thank you to Retro Style Games. If they didn't bring this to my attention, I never would have played it. And so far, I have sunk plenty of time and enjoyed quite a bit. So either way, we're going to head back to Frostpunk tomorrow. So if you do want to see that or any other future series, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning in to the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.